So hello gamers and welcome back to another BattleBit Remastered video. Somebody on Discord actually just showed me that you can actually find all the new weapons that they're going to be adding very soon to the game, hopefully, for BattleBit Remastered on their Steam page if you go to the supporter page. And today I wanted to talk about these guns because we kind of know every single one. We can use that information to talk about what these actually do and also talk about what stats they could have when they're added to the game. So yeah, let's get into it. Now first off, we have a new LMG that will be added, and you can kind of make out that this one is the LMG known as the M60, which would make a lot of sense. A lot of people have actually wanted the M60 in the game. As somebody who's kind of not the biggest fan of LMGs, I would still love to see an M60 in this game. If you guys don't know what the M60 is, it's basically just the Vietnam War variant of the M249. And the M249 fires 5.56 by 45 millimeter and fires a lot faster as well. So it's firing M4 bullets, the same bullets as the M4A1, the M4s, the M60, and stuff like that, which means it's going to have quite a bit less stopping power than the original M60, but the M60 is going to have much higher recoil and usually about 500, 550, or 600 rounds per minute fire rate. So it's going to be a 100 round belt-fed light machine gun with probably pretty high bouncy recoil. But what I'm guessing from the M60 is probably at least like 35 to like 40 damage or something like that. It's going to deal a lot of damage. I'm expecting kind of like how the M4 is to the M249, where they're very, very similar statistically. I'm guessing it's going to be something like a big AK-15 with 100 rounds, which sounds really awesome. It's probably going to have even worse mobility than the M249, if that's even possible. Oh my gosh, I thought there was windows I could vault into. But let's be real, it's going to be the M60. People are definitely going to play even more Fortunate Son than they do now, which is saying a lot because they do it a ton right now. But yeah, I'm really excited for them adding an M60 to the game. But yeah, me personally, I'm probably going to be using it quite a bit because it sounds like an awesome gun. I'm guessing since the fire rate is going to be so low and it's still going to have 100 rounds presumably, it's going to be a gun that you can suppress people for like 12 seconds, sustained fire, which is going to be really fun. And then the next one is going to be the LSAT, or the LSAT, I guess you could call it. I'm not too familiar with this gun myself, but apparently it's like a 650 RPM, probably decent damage gun. I think it's a 5.56, so it's going to be between probably the M249 and the Ultimax for its fire rate. But the thing that is actually really cool to me, and I don't know if this is what they're going to go with when they make the gun, but in real life, the LSAT is actually a gun that was designed specifically to be really light. And the reason I'm so excited for that is because I'm very much not a fan of the movement speed of the LMGs. I would love to see this gun be pretty accurate but pretty weak, but have good movement, because 100 rounds and good movement, I'm not talking like SMG movement speed, I'm just talking like a little bit faster than maybe the L86 or something like that, and then still 100 rounds, it would make the gun really fun. But now let's talk about our next gun, which is actually going to be the FN F2000, which is basically going to end up being an upgrade to the FAMAS. This gun has about 850 RPM. It'll be pretty weak, probably like 25 damage, and in real life it has 30 rounds. But yeah, 25 damage, about 850 RPM, about 30 rounds. It sounds a lot like the FAMAS. Is it going to end up being a direct upgrade to the FAMAS? I really hope not. I don't know how they're going to add it and make it actually balance with the FAMAS in the game. Yeah, the FAMAS is already a notoriously bad gun. If they literally just gave this new gun FAMAS, but you know, an extra 5 rounds, and if especially they gave it 25 damage instead of 24, it would kill the FAMAS. So they really got to be pretty careful and probably buff the FAMAS anyway. Definitely could end up being pretty interesting since it's another bullpup weapon. We definitely have quite a few bullpup weapons already in the game, which is pretty cool. Most games don't really go with many bullpups. They usually have like an AUG and a FAMAS, but we have, you know, L86 and stuff like that. We have a couple extras. I'm not really an F2000 fan in real life, you know, in terms of like looks and stuff. I don't think it looks that great, but I think it's in Battlefield 4. It's like one of the starter guns in Battlefield 4, I think. Unless that's like the weird like something P4, I think it's what it's called. I would just love to see a FAMAS buff maybe, and then maybe go from there. Hopefully they figure out how to make it balanced when they add...
He's pushing you.
Oh my gosh. If they end up adding this gun, I think it could be cool. But then next up we have a secondary, and I think the best secondary I could pull out to kind of show you guys what this one would be kind of like, but not really, would be the Glock. Now this is a secondary that's going to be another machine pistol, which I'm very excited about because there's only one in the game, and right now that is the Glock. And the Glock is it's definitely worth trying out. It's decent. I run it as like a sniper secondary. It is the weakest damage in the entire game. It actually only does 17 damage, which is obviously terrible. But the 93R is a little bit different because unlike the Glock, generally speaking, it's actually a burst weapon, which is pretty cool. I don't know what they're going to go for with the RPM. It could be 700 RPM. It could be 1100 RPM. I don't know what they're going to go with, but I'm assuming that the 93R is going to be a 3-round burst locked and maybe semi-auto, but mostly just burst. And you're supposed to use it on burst. It's probably going to have better damage and maybe better range, but it depends on what they do with the ranges on pistols. Because right now they're all the same, but it should have probably better range than a Glock. It'll probably have a burst delay and less rate of fire. Now, when they add the 93R, it could end up being the best secondary in the whole game. Now, it just depends on what they do with the stats. I don't know what the stats are right now, so I can't really tell you, but it could definitely make it really good. Definitely. Depends on how they fix some of the stats in the game right now, and then, you know, what they do with the gun. If it ends up having like 20, 25 damage, it could end up being really good, but it's all up to what they decide to do with the gun. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped for it. The 93R in games is pretty fun. Burst pistol, it's just a really cool concept for a weapon. But I guess I will spawn in for the people that don't have the Glock right now to show you guys what it does once I take this location. Oh wait, no, hold on. All right, I'll just actually respawn. So Glock, as you can see, is 17 damage, which is really bad, and it also has a really bad freaking accuracy and stuff. Recoil's not too bad though. Honestly, the recoil on it is nowhere near as bad as it should be, but as you can see, it takes a lot of shots. That guy was probably hurt anyway, because even against no armor, it's still going to be a 6-hit kill, which is just ridiculous for this game. Yes, it has 1100 RPM, but like it only has 16 rounds. It's a 6-hit kill. And on some of the heavier armor sets, I think it can be like a 10, maybe even more shots required to kill. Yeah, it's going to be like an 11-hit kill, right? Because 17, yeah, probably a 10-shot kill, which is ridiculous because if you miss any shots, and 6 shots is like that, if you miss that during your spray, it's not going to kill anyone. But it does have an extended mag, which makes it a lot better. The only problem is that the extended mag costs 125 kills and slows your walk speed, so it's really not the greatest gun in the entire game, especially for panicking. You actually have to like panic and then hit your shots. But number 5, we have the, apparently it's called the CBJMS, and I looked into this gun a little bit. I thought it was like a Mac 10 or an MP9 or something, but apparently in real life it's a 6.5 by 25 millimeter, so I guess it would probably count as a P2W in this game. And 6.5 by 25 is kind of like if you're running a P90 basically, so it would have really good armor penetration and stuff like that. In this game, I don't know what that equates to, but I think in this game it'll end up being kind of like a pseudo assault rifle. It won't fire too quickly, but it'll probably do something like, you know, 27 damage or something on the higher side, and it'll probably have really good recoil, hopefully have like good range and stuff like that. I think this gun could end up being really good for like close to medium range. Please add MP9 from CSGO. I really like that gun. That gun's awesome. We already got the AWP, we already got the Scout, we already got the AK, we already got the M4, we already got the FAMAS. We got so many guns from CSGO. They're a little bit different than the CSGO versions, but we don't have the MP9. Come on, we even got the P90. I would also love to have an MP9, a Mac 10. There's so many SMGs they could be adding to this game. So it's pretty crazy that they didn't go with a popular pick, but maybe that's going to end up being cool. Personally, I like the very fast rate of fire ones. I would love to see a Mac 10. It doesn't even have to be good, but I really like high rate of fire guns. But this one sounds like it's going to be a really good overall pick, maybe a P90 contestant, but we'll have to see, because, you know, the P90 already does like 27 damage on its own. To make it compete with the P90, they'd have to make it do like rifle damage, which would be crazy. All right, that was terrible hits to kill. But yeah, that's all we really have. Those 5 guns are really all there seems to be so far. Now, there could be more stuff added in the future. Wow, that guy drop shot me like crazy. But yeah, anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. Those 5 guns, they sound cool. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.